I do applaud black people in the country. I have to say I applaud you for being strong while you're being ignored, ran over, and abused politically. And those who are politically astute understand what I'm saying. I mean politically aware, politically astute, that understands what I'm talking about right now. Because there's a lot of us who continually buying into a social illusion and do not know or realize that we are at war. We're in a political war, and it's also physical, but it's political for the most part. There's a lot of things going on. Black people are not paying attention, but there is going to be a situation where you are going to have to pay attention to what has happened to you and what is happening to you in your subservitude space in this country. You are to have first class citizenship that you have not yet been able to reciprocate from the government. It's disloyal. You were a slave. I'm talking to the descendants of slavery, not black folks from all over the different world and all in the islands that come here for a better life. We know that we have been pretty much denied our existence by them also. Not all of them. Some of them are allies, and they are, but not all of them. We know this. And black women, black men, black mothers that's out there, we don't need you up in the cameras forgiving people for harming your family at these mass shootings and different things of that nature. There's a passage in the scriptures in the Bible. If you want to be a Christian, read all of the Bible. There's one that says, when you're at war, you're not to feed the enemy. You see, there's a time for everything under the sun. There's a time to be benevolent. There's a time to cry, a time to smile. There is a time to go to war. You see, war is necessary sometimes because you get to know who the enemy is. And it talks about that also. There's a lot of people that's very unastute when it comes down to Christianity, when it comes down to politics, definitely politics. You see, black people, I don't come here to disencourage you or to make you feel in kind of way or to offend you. Black people have not been politically aware. We have not been politically rectified. We have not been necessarily politically engaged. So therefore, we don't really have an idea what's going on politically in the political arena. Black people, stop it. You're talking about you don't do politics, all this and that. Well, politics do you. And we have been politically positioned. Politically, you were a slave in this country. Politically, you were supposed to have first class citizenship. Politically, there was a constitutional right that said you were to be first class citizenship and that you were supposed to have 40 acres and a mule. And that was very methodical. It was for a very good reason. That way you can have a community and access your home native land in the land of your captivity on an equal playing field due to an inhumane exchange or flesh trade. You were property of somebody's property as a slave. Chattel slavery was not fun. It was to build wealth. It was to make one wealthy, and it executed. And you were the apparatus of that. Your hands built the society, blood sacrifice, harm, denial, heinous exchange from a power source against every bit of you throughout every part of a human being was against you and your community, in your unit, your children, your babies. And this is what happened. Now we are in a situation where we are calling for something valuable that actually belongs to us, and it's our inheritance, and it's for the greater good. It's not just because it's owed to us. It's because we are deserving of it, and it's important that we have it. In other words, we need it. It's ours. the things that happen to you in this country, they have allowed immigrants to come to this first world nation. First of all, I don't think a lot of black people know what the United States actually is. This is the first world nation. The United States is a wealthy nation that exchange among wealth in groups. And wealth is not just money. And you are not a part of it as a descendant of slavery because you have gone politically unrectified. There has been a political affair concerning you or us and our community as a people, as a harmed people, as a people that has been abused and denied something very, very important. And that's access to a life of beautiful healthiness and a life of wealth, because the nation is wealthy, and the wealth came from the apparatus of slavery, the hands and the hearts and the harm of my ancestors. And I am a descendant of those who suffered. So therefore, I am in a certain class, which is a bottom class. Let's get that straight. Even though I may have a personal endeavor. And that's how I know some of you don't know politics, because everybody's saying what they can do personally. We don't know how America exists. America exists of race. It exists of groups. Every group have an enclave. They have businesses on the corner where you live, and everywhere else they are exchanging in capital, local capital, and super capital. They have capitalism. They are exchanging among the power source, which is slave trader descendants, the descendants of slave owners who have stolen land, who have been the power source over us in a society that has wronged the people. And we are 40-something million deep in this country. And we have bought into a social illusion. And we have people speaking out like the New Voices of Black Media, Yvette Cornell, plenty of people on YouTube, Antonio Moore. I mean, you can go on to Tariq Nasheed. And we don't know how to pay attention to what we have going on. We want to buy into this illusion that we are fixed and that everybody exists like we do, where they don't. And I applaud you, black people, for holding on and being strong. Those who are understanding that immigrants are walking around, everyone got a pregnant belly because they are existing off the 14th Amendment, which belongs to slave descendants. And they're having children on the 14th Amendment to replace you. This is a direct threat to us simply because we have not been corrected politically as a group. We don't exchange any capital in the community. We are contagious to wealth throughout white supremacy, throughout the power source, which operates the government. Even those who operate the government in terms of us have bought into an illusion, and they cater to the power source because they don't have any power. They have positions, and they are tools, for the power source, so that we can remain calm and eat the failure of someone else's success that we have been the sole provider of, that we have given to relentlessly. We've done it. We built this country. We have built this country, and slavery was to bring wealth to a nation. And we have not reciprocated that loyalty through government. This is what this is, and reparations is due to us so that we can have better minds, better hearts, better avenues, and business camaraderie of exchange. If we had our 40 acres in a mule, then we can exchange in business by now. We would have property. We would have the element of choice in that segment. We don't. We've been locked out. We've been locked out of the United States in the first world nation. We have been forced to servitude in working class people and other people coming here owning companies because they have built constituency with the power source for different reasons. And they also break the laws to be here, and no one cares. But the law has been broken toward us, and no one cares. And we are the people that have support and patronize your businesses, your success, and your families, and your life. And politically, we are calling for the things that we have at stake. for the things that belong to us. Everybody's living off their inheritance. Reparations is not a strange to the United States. That's what they give in terms of history of suffering to groups. It has not happened to the descendants of slaves, and we are the masses of the people who have suffered in this country, 40-some million, and we were the descendants of slaves. We went through Jim Crow and still locked out other people using our laws to be here and gaining capital and putting us to work in their engines with their local capital and super capital, and also wronging us in terms of that. And we don't have no say-so in business because we haven't had a chance and been allowed to. And those who are black, who have some type that's exchanging among wealth, they're not talking because they're allowed to have a little snippet of the pie. But they don't have any wealth. They have riches, and they're exchanging among wealth. Because if you look at the federal government website, as your group, you're on the bottom. Whether you're an actor, singer, dancer, or in Hollywood or not, you are supposed to be advocating for your people. There's a time for this. This is the time. We're not playing anymore. This is serious. I'm tired of my people dying and looking around at other people coming here and not even speaking our languages and catapulting above us and holding on to what belongs to us, very dear to us, and that's our reparations. Black people, wake up. We are a sleeping giant. Black men out there protecting our black women from going in these nail shops, patronizing these businesses who disrespect you. I applaud you. I'm with you. And who disrespect you, and everything that's normalized for a person to have a decent life, we have to come to it and someone else owning the stores, the companies, the jobs, and we don't exchange in that space. We've been locked out the room. See, we can't do business with other groups because we haven't been allowed to have capital. They get loans too when they come here, and they don't pay taxes, and we pay taxes in the land of our captivity, and they don't pay taxes, and they get loans to open businesses. They have become constituents to a power source for cheaper labor and to undermine the descendants of slaves in the society because they owe us. So they owe us money, and they will give you $100,000 to keep from giving us 15 trillion. Cut the check and pay for America's sin, because that is the original sin of America, and we are the only group that have not been corrected politically. We are the apparatus of a nation's success that have been abused politically. We are the apparatus of a society's and a nation's wealth that has been denied by its political arena. This is the writing on the wall. Cut the check.